There's just 1 minute to showtime.
The engines are on.
The following program is brought to you in living color.
When they wrote up the systems and the rule set that we use, did working people get to write a line? What class of men on pen and paper jotted down their clues? With capital, the heart of their design. When 90 million want a thing, but some shareholders say no. Which class of people get to have their way? The people read the fine print, say that this thing has got to go, and we'll start writing a new contract here today. Don't you know that hundreds will work and one man keeps the money? They don't think they gotta tell us why. When they say the new social contract, all the bosses will be gobsmacked and everyone will want a sign. Oh, yeah, everyone will want a sign.
Okay, hello cousins. Welcome to Fresh Hell with Nicolette and Jared. We're back again this week to talk about which horrible things are going on. Actually, the show is called Social Contract. You probably know that if you're already watching. So thank you for being with us. I am joined as ever by my talented and illustrious co-host, our own very own Mr. Mayor Jared. How are you doing today, Jared?
What's going on? I'm doing pretty well, everybody.
All things considered, personally well, but politically not well, politically unwell, I think is what's going on. We're all just very tired. We're very tired from everything. It feels like every time that, at least to me, but it feels like, starting back off at zero every time that like we come on the air. It's like, all right, let's try again. Let's try and do this again. So we thank you for being with us and checking out the show after it's aired. We appreciate you. Things are going crazy. Every week it seems like there's a new thing added on and a new thing added on. We talk about quite a bit how we're kind of stuck in the speculation zone a lot of the time because we just don't know, where these things are going to go. It's a very odd time it's not like anybody could like know the future necessarily, but it's a very odd time to just be like, I don't know. We'll see next week if things get worse, and they inevitably do. So we have ICE shooting people all over the country, and Minneapolis, Jesus, Minneapolis is fighting their own war against them, which is pretty cool, but difficult to deal with, and we have a lot of actors in the mix here, quite literally, that have been, posing as revolutionaries, and people are circulating the photos. And of course, we've got Greenland going on, and maybe the stupidest thing to ever happen, at least in the stupidest timeline, which is, I can't think of her name, the Venezuelan woman that got the stupid Nobel Peace Prize that didn't deserve it, and then she gave it to Trump, and it was like literally the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. The stupid smile on his face, like he actually earned it himself, was like the dumbest thing. And for what it's worth, Saturday Night Live has a really good impressionist, and they usually do their cold opens as Trump. And the reason it's funny is because he's like a self-aware Trump, like he is aware of what's going on and commentates on everything and everyone, because that's not what's actually going on. And they did a bit this last week where he held up a plaque and it just had a piece of tape, masking tape across with his name written on it. So that's basically what it was. That's about how meaningful that thing is. I think since Obama got one, it's pretty much been like, oh, I guess anybody can just have one of these. But anyways.
Because I've heard the same thing about various other Nobel Prizes. Like there's a prize for economics. And if you read my favorite guy, Michael Hudson, you can tell that it's not that he's
you could read it as him being like, I should get that award, but I think it's less shallow than that. His claim is that it's handed out to the top, basically propagandist for economics, the top person
Right.
who's like, no, if you just enter my magical world and and this will all work, I swear. Like,
Right.
he's criticizing that kind of stuff because that's who gets those awards. Who gets the Nobel Peace Prize? Well, funny enough, people who are helping out with wars, either Obama to this lady who is, her job is to be like, I'm the real queen of Venezuela.
Yeah, and
Go
even
do a
Trump was
big
like, thanks,
war.
but no.
I know it's I it's not that anything is that I guess I'm kind of surprised at how like ineffective most of the US government's like moves have been.
Yeah, it's like, it's ours. It's mine and his. It's ours.
Like, but like Venezuela, as far as I know, there hasn't really been regime change in Venezuela. They just kidnapped Maduro, but like there's a vice president and a whole thing, right? Like if you kidnapped Trump, it's not like America would collapse. We might do
No.
better.
Yeah, but Trump did go on Truth Social last week and declare himself president of Venezuela.
Yeah, he's like, I'm the acting. But it was Juan Guaido before. Like nothing has actually changed. It's such a weird. I'm used to after a move like this happens, there's like a change or something. Like even freaking Bolivia, they unfortunately seem to have made the what turns out to have been the mistake of still having multi-party elections, and they voted out. And you can always argue about the veracity of various elections. I know they sure do with Venezuela. They voted out their socialist party, and now they're having a real fun time. So like,
Right.
that kind of did that to themselves. And then you look at like Iran, like Venezuela happened, and then what is it, like a week, less than a week later, shit's going down in Iran. We were talking about that last week, and
Yeah.
it also just seems to have like not. I don't know. Maybe
Not
things
really
are way
moved.
weird over there. It seems to have not worked again.
Right.
Like,
And then the thing with Venezuela, I think it's kind of hard to tell who's really calling the shots on this, because as we always say that there's like Trump is the smoke screen. He's the act like the idiot out in front of everybody, while the real people do the deals in the background, right? That you don't even know about. You never
exactly.
the lizard people, right? Like
Because that's why they're showing us the whole like 20 bajillion Iranians dead.
Right, yeah,
Like,
and then
that's
you're
the
hearing that.
front-facing.
So, and that's the thing, like, they're the ones calling these shots. So while they let Trump sit around and be like, yeah, let ICE fuck people up, and we're going to invade Mexico, and Canada's going to be the 51st state, they're just letting him be an idiot out in front of everybody, thinking he's in control or in charge of anything. And they're the ones really doing anything. Like whoever, like the biggest corporations, the biggest, capital holders worldwide are the ones making the decisions, and then telling him, just go out there and do your thing or whatever. It's a larger version of what's going on in Ukraine with Zelensky. That's what puppet government is, basically. Other people are pulling the strings on what's going on. But if you also want to look at it, and like if you're sure that Trump is in charge and he's supreme leader, this, that, and the other, well, the oil billionaires were like, sit down and shut the fuck up. We're not putting money into Venezuela. It's not happening.
Because we were talking about 2
if
weeks
he
ago.
thought that was going to happen, he then got a very rude awakening about it.
That's what you did in like the early 1900s when like there was interest in actual development. Like it's I gotta stop prefacing everything, but like when I talk about Andrew Carnegie positively, it's not because I think he was like the freaking great guy, whatever that means. But Andrew Carnegie did develop. Andrew Carnegie did not necessarily. Well, I'm sure like there's certainly the financial element to it. You can look at the towns and bridges and refineries and smelting things, etc. Like infrastructure was built because it was industrial capital, and Trump still thinks like an old school industrial capitalist.
Yeah, we've talked about that a lot. That a lot of these people are. It's the same with the social media type of a situation. That's why we're under a real blitz attack of look over here, no look over here, no look over here, and letting him do all this stupid shit like winding up like a top, because they just now realized to stop doing things the old way. You got to just do things, according to how people's brains don't work, and then just keep throwing shit at them like crazy with social media. So we just now, bridged that gap.
Does the U.S. have an alternate way of doing its like power moves? Because it's really good at the 50s and before style power moves. Yeah. And it kind of feeds into my theory of it's like an apparatus running under its own weight where no one's really making big decisions. So that's why it's kind of this is just on autopilot.
Kind of automated, just happening.
We basically have an automated government, I believe, that is like in the same way that your stock trades are mostly automated now. It's like computers just move things around. Like something's wrong in a South American country. Let's run the playbook.
Right.
Oh shit, that didn't really do the thing. Something's wrong in Iran. Let's run the old playbook.
Yeah,
Oh,
or
shit.
somebody's like, somebody said something they weren't supposed to say, unplug them and plug somebody new into their place. Like, it's, it's really not that it's complicated. I think it's so uncomplicated that people can't get their heads around it, because you think how could there be so many people involved, like Congress and things, and how could there be so many people and so much money moving and so many decisions to be made and so many laws, yet it's just kind of running itself.
I think
And
they just get their check. They don't read the bills. They vote
Mhm.
however they're told. The
Right,
staffers
exactly.
freaking wipe their ass, make sure that, oh, I'm going to this lunch. All right, like you won the pageant, and then you go around much like the winner of a pageant.
Right, yeah.
You have parades,
Yeah,
etc.
exactly that. You just make appearances and you cut ribbons that,
Hi,
like McDonald's is or some
I'm
shit. Like,
Jacob Frey. Fuck ice. Will you do anything about ice? No.
no. Yeah, I was gonna mention that like, yeah, like literally, like he literally went on TV and was like, "Get the fuck out of our
Get the
city!" Yeah,
fuck shit. I'm
yeah,
Jacob Frey.
right. Like, I approve this message. Like, and that's
Remember
all
when
that there
George
fucking
Floyd
was.
happened? I said shit back when George Floyd happened too. I said this is shit or something.
Yeah,
And then
right.
what happened? Nothing.
It ultimately it just turned out to be like a campaign slogan to rile people up, and then like I don't even think it was a week went by before he was on the news being like, "No, actually, no.
Well, it's
I
just
think
like,
we
would
should
you
have
vote?
ice."
Do you support the defunding of ICE? And he's like, no. Well, you see, let's not be crazy.
Yeah. So that's how it goes. Like, yeah, and that's the thing. If he starts bucking the system too hard, he'll get unplugged, and somebody else will get plugged into his place.
So since we're already talking about Minnesota, and this truly is this truly is a short thing I'm going to do here. It's not even a thing I'm going to do. We all remember the Minneapolis shooting where the lady who just got shot in the side of the freaking horrible
Right.
for just no reason. The thing that I keep hearing over and over and over of commentators is talking about the like lack of training. Oh, they just need training. And I'm like, holy shit, they're going to do it again. They're going to do the same thing that happened with Black Lives Matter summer, where I'll say nothing happened, and then you'll correctly point out, no, it actually got worse. And that's what's going to happen again. Oh, we need more training. We better give them another $250 billion.
Right.
And that doesn't even make sense, because the guy who shot the lady had been there since 2016. You're saying, oh, he didn't have enough experience? He's been there
Right.
for 10 years. Like, oh, he just needs some more training. You just gotta, what?
Yeah, no, and that has been the Democrat, the unanimous point of view. We're not hearing
training.
anybody saying anything outside of that, and it's all been like they need more funding, they need more training, and they just need body cams, guys. Then they'll be accountable. The man that shot her was fucking filming, like it was like that.
So that
like,
was not. We got the footage.
Yeah, right. Like like the cameras are not the issue here. Like it was filmed up and down, sideways and frontways and backways. Like the issue is this should not be happening, and in any sane world, that it wouldn't be. This is obviously like a place straight out of Nazi Germany. We need to like reiterate that because it's just obvious to everyone. And there was a headline going around recently, just in the last couple of days, that a lot of leftists were passing around, which is I think this Gen Z, the one that's behind millennials, is they are because now they are a full-fledged. Yeah, they're full-fledged adults, by the way. Like, it's weird because people still blame millennials for stuff, and it's like, do you realize we're 40?
Yeah, they're fucking adults.
It's not the same thing, right? There's a new class you can blame the 20-year-olds, right? So those people are full-fledged adults at this point. They have kids, they have jobs, or they're trying to do that, and they're moving quick compared to the way millennials had to do it. But point is I guess that the common consensus among this generation, as much as you can get one, is that they have lost faith in both parties. And it's like, let's fucking go! Like that's what we have been trying to say this whole time. There are tens of us online who have been trying to make this point for a really long time.
It's the literal least you can do. It's the first step. I don't know where you'll end up necessarily, but if you haven't realized that this is WWE, that it's one party.
100%.
We don't have I would love a second party to vote for.
Absolutely. There's something to get behind. Like we are not here because we're not politically motivated, right? Like we both were shit libs. we came out of it, and then we met, and then we started talking shit on the internet. So that's basically how it happened. And we encourage people to do that. Like if that's what you can do, or you think that you want to do that, or you just got a lot of opinions and nobody's listening, make a show and get online. because we just like the more people, the better, honestly, in contributing in any and every way. And we have always said it's not our position to tell people to arm themselves and to get in the streets. Like that's an individual's decision, about how you want to do it. If you want to block traffic, if you want to protest in that way, that's up to you. But a lot though comes down to just sharing your thoughts and your voice and letting people know in maybe your own age group, in your own friend group, in your own whatever, or just out in the void, what's going on, where you stand on it, what your thoughts are, and then kind of connecting as much as you can with other people who feel the same. And it sounds like the younger generation, I don't want to be like the kids these days, because there actually is like 2 more generations under them at this point, but like if you're counting babies. But that's the thing is, I guess in a generation wide type of a way, there is now a more widespread opinion that no, this is a sham. Voting is fake. Politics are fake. It's I can't remember who it was, but some time ago, maybe a couple years ago, someone came out and said all this rhetoric and all this yelling and screaming that people are doing in videos and stuff, it's fake. When you go into the committee meetings and shit, everybody's cordial and everybody's nice to each other, and it doesn't matter where you are, what the leanings are, what you've said. Everybody acts normal and professional, so it's all for show, and it's exactly what Jared just said, which is that it's WWE, and we've addressed that before. This is just to get attention, and then now we're at the stage of like, let's just throw everything at them and get people so mixed up and confused that they're not talking about Palestine, or they're trying to figure out what's going on in Iran, or they're like, don't touch Greenland, or it's all these stupid things, like, and it's just they're like, leave Mexico alone, and we don't need Canada as the 51st state, and it's just thing after thing after thing. And,
So a
that's
thing
where we
happening
are
in
now.
Minneapolis that is very much real.
Yes.
And I didn't even realize, because I'm starting to lose track. There was an additional, or have been, I think 2 or more additional, like, Minneapolis ICE-based shootings. Oh my
I
God,
think
I'm
there was
sorry, I
some
said
in
a Greenland flag got
California.
triggered.
I kind of lost track as well. I think there's been about 3 altogether.
So this is Monday,
So-
I guess. Tensions continued over the weekend in Minneapolis as protesters clashed in the streets with law enforcement following a second shooting there in about a week, but that was Monday. It's been a day, I don't know. Involving a federal officer. Department of Homeland Security said that on Wednesday, this would be almost a week ago tomorrow, the federal law enforcement officer shot a person who they said, we got to make this language as like neutral as possible. A federal law enforcement officer shot a person who they said had fled a traffic stop, and then, along with 2 other people, began attacking the officer. And it's like, man, it sure is crazy that we're following a shooting where the whole thing was on camera, and they're still trying to tell us like, oh, she was gonna run over that cop. Like,
Right.
where is it? It said Good was allegedly attempting to run over law enforcement. So if you're telling me, and it can even be on video, and they're still fucking telling you that. So like,
Yeah.
I don't know how much of that actually happened. Did they actually flee a traffic stop? Did they actually go beat up a cop? Did any of that happen any of the
Exactly.
way that they said it? Maybe it
Right.
did. Maybe it didn't.
Yeah, and then to continue on the story, Time Traveler of the chat mentions that for some reason, and I can't really see why they would do this, but like the hospitals and the cops in Minneapolis have confirmed that guy did not come in. Jonathan Ross did not come in with internal injuries. Like the
Oh yeah, of course not. Jesus.
Republicans are. Well, I mean, we know that, but like we know
I
that.
hate
You
that
see
it's
that.
so
That's
obvious,
not-
but you still gotta wait
yeah.
for like confirmation.
Right, but like I don't know why the cops would go against him or anybody really. It seems like they're all basically on the same side here of doing all this, and the cops are these guys, right? Like on their off times, so they're getting like they're getting like massive cop pay, plus in their time off they're getting massive person hunter pay at
They're
this
told
point.
that the whole media landscape is that every protester is out to kill you. That like we're
Right.
already in civil war, and it's you or them, and you just got to start blazing. So it's like, it's not that
Right.
of course I blame the people who are responsible for the thing, but it's like they're also just slotted into a system playing a role. Is
Yeah.
the goal to whip up like a fucking civil war? Because I thought this Minneapolis stuff was going to be over a while ago, and it seems to get crazier every day. Something that's
Yeah.
more heartening is I've been hearing about this. Fargo-Moorhead area unions endorse strike. People are throwing around the word general
wow.
strike, and then you look into general strike, and it's like, well, actually, they're just suggesting that people maybe just don't show up or take a sick day or something. Like, okay, that's not a strike. But then this is just today, so we have 4 in the morning.
Right.
Fargo, North Dakota. All right. Fargo, local union leaders are supporting a plan that calls for a general strike in opposition to ICE activity in Minnesota. The Red River Valley AFL-CIO, don't trust either of them, and the West West Area Labor Council are endorsing the action in solidarity with the Minneapolis AFL-CIO. The Regional Labor Federation and other unions throughout the state are calling for a general strike on you're fucking up. On this one day exactly only, we will do this.
That to a degree, we've talked about this before. To a degree, that will help.
I'm going to punch you in 3 days' time.
Yeah,
in this
right?
one exact place. So you have plenty of time to prepare.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Well, to a degree, that's a good idea, but not when you have untrustworthy and bad faith people trying to put that in.
I mean, try. Please don't take this as me saying don't try. Try it. And if it's disappointing, I will be unsurprised. But maybe
Right.
you exceed my expectations. Maybe this takes off and actually like becomes a thing. When I said
Right.
this could be a revolutionary or should be a revolutionary moment a couple of years ago, oh yeah, my shirt, accidental. A couple of weeks ago, like I did not think it was going to keep going like this. And it's like, oh yeah, it's all going to die down another like day.
Okay, that's what
but no.
it's been happening. Like a dust up and then it goes
they
away.
shoot
And
another
dust up and it
person.
goes away. So
Is this on purpose? Is this supposed to be some like Days of Lead public unrest thing? Not that they told that specific cop to shoot that specific lady, but they just you make enough powder kegs that eventually one will go
Right.
off, and then
Yes.
you can say, "Oh my God, look at this! I can't believe." It's like,
And then you'll see at the protest something else we talked about quite a bit, like somebody's burning a flag or somebody's breaking a window. Those are cops.
there's been a whole lot of like, because everyone's been through it now, so we all kind of know. So there's been far more of get that guy, drag him, and then it's like,
Right.
oh, and then the cops run over and like, oh, he's ours. Like
No,
that's
yeah,
happened
don't do
multiple
that.
times already. Like fucking Cernovich.
Right,
was
yeah,
over.
it's starting to get old at this point. I
They
mean,
got
like
some guy who's like on the ground, you don't know what happened, and then like suddenly a van pulls up and 20 other guys come out and get him, and it's like, oh, so that, all right, so that just was okay.
All right, yeah, exactly. Like this is kind of it's just like there's only so many ways these things can go, and it's just repeating itself over and over again. But again, the thing that we've been talking about too is it's hard to tell people or agree with saying like be out there in the street because that's like the feeling, that's like the knee-jerk reaction, like that's what should be happening
You wanna do something.
technically, but at the same time what you're really doing is giving them grounds to initiate martial law or try and invoke the Insurrection Act, and which is what something Trump has been trying to do since like his first term, just because that would eliminate midterms, and that would you could just basically do what he wanted at that point, or like what he was told essentially to do at that point.
I am fully in support of canceling elections, just like our best friend Ukraine. If it's good enough for Ukraine, it's good enough for America.
Yeah, right? Yeah,
I think we should remove our
let's see how it
constitution,
goes.
actually. Like, Israel doesn't have a constitution, and we should follow their example. We should remove the constitution.
So, and that's the thing. It's like that's where we always end up kind of caught in the middle of things. It's like, yeah, there's things that we would like to say, and there's opinions that we would like to share, but we also feel like if we're, taken off the air, we're not really doing a service to anyone or doing anything that's of any real use. So we have to try to
radical words because
we have to try to walk the line in a way that isn't great and we don't love.
In the past, I might have said the solution is going and blowing up some building, and it's like, no, that doesn't even do anything.
Right, and it doesn't, because that's as we learned from the George Floyd protests, which was sort of uncharted territory for the modern age. Of course, there were riots and dust-ups throughout history in America, but when we're talking about like right now times, that was something that people were getting behind. They felt really motivated to get out there. But then what did that turn into? That turned into cop cities and no kings protests, parades. So
unless it's the king of Denmark.
Banged my hand, but if that's what that sound was. But that's so it divided itself into really bad shit that's good for the empire and people making themselves feel good and having something to do on a Saturday. So ultimately, empire wins. That's two for empire right there. And so that's why we say like, what is the right answer to this? It's not really clear. I've been saying for a while that with this, and it's possible with this strike, quote unquote, would be a good thing, because there are things you could do. Like it's everybody decides we're not going to shop at Walmart today, and then the next day we're not going to shop at Amazon. That's where you get these companies' attention, and they're the ones basically dictating law. But is that going to work either? What works?
Okay, I can easily say with full confidence that doing something for exactly one day on a predetermined Friday that you tell them about in advance will do absolutely nothing. It will make everyone feel good, and hopefully it will then be like, man, that felt really great. Let's do this again. The last successful, like, famous big scale boycott, the Montgomery bus boycott, that shit took years.
That's
Was
true.
multiple years.
Right.
So Minnesota, if you actually if you're about that life, do this for a few months. Let's see what happened. There's an example in Seattle that took 3 weeks. So, like, I don't know.
Right.
See what happens,
Yeah,
man.
because I have definitely said on the show, like, if maybe we do that, like, then it's at least going to get attention, and I think it might. But I think we also might be past that being an effective strategy.
This is like the fact. You'll see that my opinion on all these things warms the more organization begins happening, because street riot just doesn't do anything. You're just going out and volunteering to get either arrested or put on a list or punched.
Get one of your eyes put out with a rubber bullet.
Or you're out there just, like, basically just having fun. I've heard people describe a lot of these protests as, I know it's not fun per se, and people do get hurt and literally killed, but the cops, they get to play their little role of, like, I'm a big guy, I put on my big shield, and then
I'm defending America.
I get to put on my thing and throw a gas thing, throw a little fireworks smoke bomb and feel like a fucking badass, and then I run away and they chase me, and then, like, that's what a lot of these protests kind of become. It's just like almost recreation. It's like a sport. You go out and, all right, we're lining up, 3, 2, 1, hut, and then you're like,
yeah.
But it doesn't actually accomplish anything, because there isn't an organizational anything there. It's just come out, release our energy for a day, week, all summer. If you don't have organized demands, like, hell, I'd love to say, I mean, even just the demand of exit the city, please. We would like ICE to exit the city. Even that, there you go. That's at least a concrete demand that your own mayor has said he won't help with. But hey, maybe you can shame him into saying fuck on TV again.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Where I come from the kind of my beginning point of all of this, but I've been trying to look for it like that, like other inroads that now I did, as we're saying here, like that didn't work, or it won't work, or it hasn't worked, because I think we kind of moved beyond that about those things being functional ideas. Is I think the only real way to go at this point is essentially erecting or creating a type of shadow government.
Dual power. You're describing dual power.
Creating a dual power situation where if people are like, all right, well, if you're not going to get ICE out of our city, we're not going to pay.
We're just going to do it ourselves.
Yeah, we're going to do it ourselves, or we're not going to pay our credit card bills, or we won't pay our whatever. Like, we're going to stop paying this, that, and the other. And if
somebody should step up as the mayor, like Machado, whatever her name is, be like, I am the true mayor
right?
of Minnesota.
Yeah, like, and it would have to start at the grassroots level, like a little pot of people here doing it. Oh, that's cool, a little pot of people here. And I do actually have an example of that in a way kind of working, because I know other cities are doing this, other states are doing this. I'm hoping other countries are doing this, but you never really know what's going to pick up people's attention where, depending on the attitude of people, because I will be the first person to tell you, people in Indiana breed apathy. It is the most apathetic place you will ever find in all 50 states, I'm sure. Like, just crazy apathy. Nobody cares about anything. Everybody's just single mind focused on themselves. Very unfriendly place. But something that has really gotten people worked up is data centers. People are going out like they never have before. Like, they could be like, we're going to mow your historic neighborhood down and put a Walmart in there. And they'll be like, fine, that's cool. We probably needed one anyway. So, like, they'll just let anything happen, right? This I've never seen in all of my life. I've never seen people mobilize the way that they have around the anti-data center movement here. It's getting some attention nationally, but not like to the degree that it's on the local news like almost every day. Because the people who are trying to erect. Well, right, yeah, and that's sort of what it is. The people who are trying to erect these things, and it's all different companies. First of all, they try to hide who they are. Second of all, and that comes out immediately. Second of all, they're trying 2 strategies. One, put them in urban, very poor locations because they think people are too poor and stupid to fight it. Attack on brown and black people, basically.
They put them in the middle of nowhere, yeah.
And then 2, try and put them in farmland. And then because they think there's too rural and there's not enough people and they're too stupid to fight it.
It's hard to get to drive out to go like be mad about it, and
Right.
nobody wants to do that.
Neither one of those strategies are working. That's the thing.
Good.
So everybody is fighting it. The urban people are fighting it. The rural people are fighting it. People are going to different communities to fight it. When somebody says they're going to put one up, immediately other places who have fought one and one, I don't know if you could
They
say
start
one
really-
because they'll just keep coming back. But then they go advise those people on how to resist it. And it's been this real, a pretty amazing domino effect on communities picking up one after the other and like going over there. Cause like some states aren't like this, but Indiana is very, very connected. Like there's tons and tons of roads everywhere. Like you can easily get to anywhere very quickly. And
former industrial area.
Yeah, it's very industrial, and it's very like it's not rural the way that like central Ohio or Illinois is, where it's just like wasteland.
Yeah, you
No,
just
it's all
straight one road forever.
yeah, right. It's all very, very connected. Like there's towns everywhere. It's almost like the way that the East is. So people can get places quickly. People can send word quickly. People can send like a coalition somewhere quickly. So it only takes like 3 hours to get to either the top or the bottom of the state. Like it's somewhere that it's just not working here, and it's been really, really great to see that happen.
You've told me how pessimistic you are about your state in general. So that's great to hear.
It is. I've never seen anything like this happen because it really is a very negative, bad place.
It's huge cost, no benefit to anybody
Right.
who actually lives there.
Yeah, and that's what they're trying to do. And the governor, is a dickhead, and then all the local mayors are like, we think it's going to be really good for commerce, and they're going to pay for their own water and shit. And it's like, no, they're not. There's no commerce. There's nothing coming out of that. People are not buying that because everybody here is such assholes.
There's 5 jobs.
You won't believe it.
Good. I'm glad they don't, because it's 5 jobs. Once that shit is up, also, they're not asking Joe Blow down the street to build it. They bring in a construction crew. That's a bunch of jobs, and then they leave. And then they're like, okay, well, look, they were going to hire 3 security guards and 2 attendants. We got to really like blow up our whole local economy to make sure this project goes through.
Right. Yeah. And
it's like pipelines, like jobs, like there's
and that's what you're hearing from the government. They're like, no, they're going to bring jobs and it's going to create commerce. And no, it's not. And because the people who are fighting it in the inner city areas are like, we need grocery stores. Have you heard of those? We need grocery stores. We need maybe some clinics around here or a hospital or something that's worth a damn. So like they're not buying it. And then that's like the one good thing that's come around from Indianians being assholes is they're not buying this. And it's just been a real marvel to see. And I hope that other states can look at what Indiana has done and is doing to resist this and keep doing the same. Because what's most important about this, and I'm going to shut up and let you talk here in a second, is headline is AI is not an inevitability. It is not something we all have to just roll over and accept and say, okay, it's going to take all the gerbs and it's going to poison all the water and everything's going to be, that's just the way it is and nobody can do anything about it. This is tech companies trying to ram this shit down our throat and nobody wants it. A couple of weeks ago, Dell said that they were abandoning their AI first model and their new things.
Windows is also rolling everything back, and
because they said there was lack of customer interest.
Yeah, nobody.
So, thank you for finally fucking admitting it, right? And that's where we are. So keep fighting it. Keep not avoiding it. Keep not using Chat GPT. People are out here like, how do we do anything? What are you alive? Is this your first day on the fucking planet? Like, yeah, you functioned before without having something read your email for you. Like, give me a fucking break.
Well, the part of that is like what you just said. The shit's clearly functioning now without having built all these data centers. So why do we need to go? Why? Because there was I think it was Bezos. He had some comment. It's just comments. Everybody's just talking, but just to let you know what they're thinking. It's in the future. No one will buy gaming PCs. They will simply rent space from a server in one of these fucking data centers. Like, cool. So I don't actually get a computer. I get a little thing that then gives me access to a certain amount of computing power with it. It's like, yes, we all love that, man.
Yeah.
The whole you'll own nothing and be happy is going even crazier than I would expect, right? Like, you can't even own a PC, like nothing.
Right. Yeah, that's what you're trying to tell me at this point. Yeah.
So
so
that's
that's
about dual power, and you were talking about community action things.
Oh God.
And the Black Panthers. You may have seen this photo going around, and everybody had a fun time because the Black Panther Party of the 60s and 70s is one of the most effective Marxist organizations in the history of the country, especially of the last 100 years. They built dual power. There were like when you hear about school lunches, that's what that is. Dual power is kind of very boring on its butt. It's like, oh, the garbage isn't getting picked up. Let's start picking up people's garbage. It's like, oh, our kids don't have food. Let's start doing. And yes, you like hand out a pamphlet while people are doing it. If you're too assy, they're just not going to show up anyway. But that's how you get your things spread. And then eventually, if you create enough dual power, the government will destroy an entire block in the city of Philadelphia to make sure all of your leadership is killed.
Yes,
and,
they will literally
firebomb
you and make sure you're all dead. So that
you're doing it right when the government murders an entire neighborhood to try to get to you. Notice that did not happen to these people. This is a picture from 2020, but it's getting thrown around. Again, why do they want us to think all these lies? This is like, oh, look in Minneapolis, or the leftists brandish guns, and it's like, this is 2020. 2, literally paid actors. These are
no. The worst part about this is leftists moving this shit around and saying like, oh, look at Queen. Oh my God, like where's this energy been? Like these are literally motherfucking actors. God damn it.
The energy has been behind a casting
They're holding
company.
toy guns.
Just call a casting company. They'll send you some actors. They love some work.
They
do a good job. She makes a great
also
face.
posing arm in arm with cops.
Oh yeah,
at this event.
It was and then today, I think just today, again, was this from years ago? Was this from today? There was some interview posted in text form with, I don't know, one of these people, someone who's from the real or the new Black Panther Party, where they're talking about is like, we're out here, but we don't really care. Some weird quote about like, we don't care about protecting immigrants, but locals. It's like, okay, this is a statement designed to just piss everyone off. This is clearly a please fight with us in this post. Type of situation. Right.
Yeah. So that's exactly right. Again, and as you say, this is from 2020. This was not even anything relevant to what's going on now or happening now. And beyond that, those people are paid actors holding toy guns.
You are not immune to propaganda, and it's very funny. You see how many people who had this police paid for propaganda, they're throwing it around like, look at this. This is awesome.
Yeah. And again, this is intended to rile people up because people who are posting this aren't informed and are like, oh hell yeah, or they're like, no. So Black people with guns. So that's it is doing what it's intended to do, which is just get people arguing and fighting on the internet. And
we've still yet to see like full on like cop line, people with guns line, open firefight. Like it still is yet to happen. Not that I want it to, but it wouldn't at this point would not even be that shocking if it was like we had a full on actual firefight in the street. Mm-hmm. But they continually, the group that stands there, like, it seems like I'm countering my own thing here. A good idea that the Black Panthers had way back in the day is they would go up to, when the cops were doing anything, they would just kind of hang out and hold guns and look at them. Like they didn't shoot the police, just kind of there.
Just kind of hang out and bear witness, which is basically what people are doing now with phones.
How statistically that suddenly, well, that's the thing. It used to be that people would get freaked out by phones, but like you just pointed out, the cop himself had his phone out shooting a lady.
Yes.
Like this, we don't fear footage. I don't care. They're still trying to say she tried to run me over, even though we have it from 10 different angles. That
you could tell all the Democrats that was basically a body cam, the body of the man who was holding it did it. So and shot it. So like he shot a gun and shot footage. Yes. So
we've yet to have them just start opening firing on the people who stand around with assault rifles.
Right? Yeah.
I don't know what to do with that information, but it's yet to happen.
Yeah, and before we forget about it, we're kind of stuck on this because this is what's going on domestically that's gotten everybody worked up pretty bad. But at the same time, we're also having all this international stuff thrown at us, and we're being told by the international community that in so far as what's going on with Greenland, other countries have moved in troops to protect Greenland. And
56,000 people.
Yeah, right. And they're gonna
56,000 people live in Greenland.
But the thing of it is like, we talked about this before, and this hasn't happened in quite a long time, but there are some points where Trump would bumble things so hard and mess things up so bad that it would kind of reverse effect and do something good.
Destroying NATO over Greenland would be hysterical.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Like, this might be like, NATO's like, you better don't. And I'm like, they're not going to do shit.
They aren't going to do shit.
So yeah,
they didn't do shit for Ukraine either. If you guys, you're over there being like a big NATO defender for Ukraine reasons, well, didn't fucking work, did it? Well, they're not in NATO. Sure, they're not in NATO, but when it's not that, it's like, well, you see, NATO acts as a deterrent To who?
To whom?
Who is it? It can't even deter America, it turns out.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's worth mentioning because these things are connected. Like you'd be like, well, I live in Minneapolis and I have my problems here. I don't like. What about Greenland? Well, it's the same. It's basically the same thing going on. It's America stirring up shit. For America, the sake of America, or United States, I should say. And then everybody just posturing and acting like a bunch of shit and whatever. But if there is a possibility of doing some sort of NATO destruction here or messing up NATO in some way, that's a good thing, guys. Like that's like a really good thing.
I'd have to pull up the specific Wojak, but it's like it's over and that's all right. The guy's like, yeah. It's like it's okay. The American Empire is grinding to a halt, to an end, and that's fine. It's
yes.
I don't want my. I mean, it's gonna be a bit. It's gonna get kind of hairy here for a bit. Will it be full-on civil war? Will England come and invade us after our communist revolution? I would love to fight the British a second time. Not I, someone, maybe me. I don't know. I'll make this declarative statement now. If the British roll in to try and defeat the People's Republic of America, I will take up arms against the British.
So yeah, we were talking a little bit before the show. I think maybe you'll want to pontificate on this one a little bit, but like Greenland is basically nothing. Like it's like an argument point essentially. Like no, Americans agree that we should not be having or doing anything or taking it by force or otherwise. Leave it alone. No one seemed that bothered when we did this in Venezuela. So
people will question. They'll be like, well, why we already have deals with Greenland? Why do we need to do any of this like hostile blah blah? It's like, well, currently, since Greenland is under the control of Denmark, which is funny because Greenland is not independent. They're a monarchy. They're part of the kingdom of Denmark. So everybody went to those no kings rallies. Give me back your card. Give me back. You've lost it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And also Canada is part of the British Crown.
About the greater not the article I have thrown up here is about the greater like NATO internal conflicts now because things are being taken to their zenith. What will be necessary for capitalism to continue developing, if we look at this in a more abstract and less country-to-country sense, is it will necessitate the consolidation of various national capitals, not capital cities, but like the money force. Like America has its capitalist class. Well, so does Denmark. Denmark has its own national capitalists within a nation, national capitalists. So does Italy, England, blah, blah, blah. And throughout history, there's been a series of one national capital taking the other over, absorbing it, consolidations. It's like when a company buys another company, except it's countries now. So Trump is marching us down the steps necessary to achieve socialism, which would be the full consolidation of capital. Because if they all come together, they just got one thing, just knock that over and you got it. So like Denmark is kind of just going through. It's if you think of it like companies, the whole thing makes a little bit more sense because that's how they freaking think of it. It's like we would like to acquire Greenland, and that's how he talks about it. He talks about buying it. I don't even think life for people in Greenland would change a lot. 56,000
well, you have some of these people, I can't remember who, but they're like posting pictures of it with like all of these corporations logos over it, and it's like that's what or AI videos of such.
McDonald's.
Like, yeah, that's what you think is utopia. Like that's what you think like is a good thing. Like this is so pathetic at this point. The arguments are so fucking pathetic.
It's just goofy when you look at, like you already said, how we just did a violent thing in both Venezuela and Iran, and now it's like, okay, I'm sorry. People don't necessarily acknowledge that Iran is not like an op, a CIA thing. It might be the organic uprising of the Iranian people who then burned mosques for some reason,
right, yeah, burn their own shit down, right? Okay, yeah,
exactly. So it's like all of this nonsense is happening, and then you look at who do we really have to all come together for? Poor Greenland. Are you excited to see people with the Greenland flag right next to the Ukraine and Taiwan flag on their social media handles?
Yeah, right. Great. Yeah, fuck Venezuela, but we can't let anything happen to precious Greenland.
56,000 people. I only keep saying that number because I'm pretty sure there's more than 56,000 people in the neighborhood I live in.
Right?
And it's not that I don't I mean, it still goes back to my default stance, which is, that's not my country. I don't give a shit. Like, what? Like, of course we shouldn't be doing this territorial expansion, but it's like, man, how do you have all of this supposed care in your heart for all these other countries, but like the guy who lives on your own block, fuck him.
Suck a dick.
He's probably an anti-vaxxer. He should die.
Right?
It's like-
It is so hard living in this country, I swear. Like every single thing is just like the next stupidest thing that could have possibly ever happened.
So we got Canada also being pushed away from the U.S. because as the U.S. continues to act like a crazy thing and like lashing out and like we're taking Greenland and stuff, Canada's like, oh god. Most countries are going to be like, oh god, and they're going to start going over to the much more stable looking thing in the room, China. China's just right there like, hi, I am chill. I have taken over 0 countries in the last
And
100
everything here is
years.
fucking great. So
The only time I've ever done any wars ever, it was Korea, and then we helped Pakistan that one time, and that's really it. That's all we've done. Canada's Carney. It's funny his name is Carney because I think in wrestling to be Carney is to do something ridiculous for money or like just to be like a shameless like on Sunday I'm cutting my own face off like, it's like whoa. Like, and it's even more Carney if it's somewhat like a lie and you're like kind of tricking people like bait and switchy like please anything for attention. So the fact that his name is Carney, he's a big banker. He comes from Bank of England, was like he formerly worked for. So it's like hooray Canada, if you think you're independent, I have news. You have to do your revolution. You have to remove yourself from the British crown, and I can't respect you until you do so. You got to fight the English, just like India did.
there is
just like
no
we
reason
did.
for them to be part of the British crown. There is absolutely not. You think they don't have their own?
It's the reason it freaking existed after 1776. People at the time were talking, "Hey, Canada, you should be with us. We're all kind of like." We're all right here. We all started out of this fucking French beaver trade shit. We've all been rolling for a bit. And we're all sick of taxation, representation, blah, blah, blah. And England made sure that did not happen. Why? Because Canada was supposed to be like our Israel. Like it'd just be up there like, oh, if those Americans fuck around, we have a thing. What was the War of 1812? They're like, America's fucking up. They came down, burned down the White House. Like they did. England through Canada has already attacked America once.
Right.
So if you're like, why is Canada even a thing? Why British Crown? Blah blah blah. That's so once the People's Republic of the United States or whatever the shit we call it has emerged and we've dealt with our national bourgeois, then Europe can try to come back in through Canada. You'll have troops landing in fucking Newfoundland. That's the big global thing. I don't know if we're gonna have enough like cohesion as a capitalist mode to do that kind of stuff because like we can't take out Venezuela or Iran. It seems. Are they gonna take out America once we've done our revolution and are feeling very confident and angry?
And don't forget, historically, you have been misled in everything that you've received from your public education to think that America are the world heroes and America wins wars and America saves the day, when that every single point I just made is the exact opposite. It's true.
When the American people want to do a war, we're really good at it. We won our revolution. We won the Civil War. That's it.
Yeah, we did a revolution once. We can't do it again. That's all.
The pirate. We dealt with some pirates a little bit as spicy as we got. So we got Canada's Minister Mark Carney talking to the media. There's been announcements of various China-Canada trade deals. Carney signs trade deal with China, diverging from U.S. policy. Trade experts say China trade critical to double non-U.S. exports, warn of risks, rapid integration. China's going to get the cool cars is what I've taken from this the most. This is from, that's great. Written from Ottawa, Doha, and Dubai. Great. Reuters. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney trying to foster a new global trading order by working more closely with China and inking smaller trade deals, but faces constraints from Canada's still overwhelming economic dependency on the U.S. It's not even dependency, it's like they've signed their lives away a lot because we're all in this together.
Well, I mean, from a Canadian point of view, the things that it's not just Trump, but like kind of more now than ever. They kind of like have to tread lightly here. It is a little bit of a walk on eggshells when it's like, if we want to do something, we can't piss them off all at once because they actually might literally come up here and kill us. There's only 11 million of us, so like we're like the population of New Jersey. Like we're done for if America says so.
It's not my country, not my problem, but Canadians, if anybody's hearing this, look around and you see how things just are kind of just generally going worse, and so you can break that off, but you got to do it by having a proletarian revolution, and then you can, hey, look at that. If you're sick of very gradually morphing into what the USA is right now, that's your only way out of it. Running back to frickin' Europe certainly is not. If anything, they're gonna have even weirder, more restrictive laws. Yeah, all right. Forging new alliances and trading partnerships has taken on new urgency for countries like Canada as Trump's foreign policy grows more aggressive and unpredictable. I don't think it's unpredictable, but it is aggressive. Trump has intensified his push to wrest sovereignty over Greenland from Denmark. It's funnier when you think about it. It's like, you can't control this piece of land.
Yeah,
You know who
right?
definitely
Okay,
can't?
yeah.
The locals.
You're gonna liberate it from Denmark. All right, whatever.
Prompting was the thing. They're not saying that they want to have an independent Greenland, which some Greenland, I'm sure there's a lot of. I've seen. I don't know what the percentage is over there, how popular it is, but Greenlanders talk about independence all the time. 50,000 people. You guys go ahead, get your shit together, have a revolution against Denmark,
it, bro. Like, go.
It's like, I don't even think there's an option. I mean, that's what I would probably want. Like, if I was God and I had to decide who gets to own Greenland, I think it should be the people who live in Greenland.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, like, who would think that would be a good idea?
Carney, former head of the Bank of England. I promise I don't intentionally do this. Former head of both the Bank of England and the Bank of Canada, won an election last year because he's a banker, promising to create new economic alliances to help Canada survive Trump's tariffs and threats to annex Canada. So, like, long story short, Canada's going to get the cool China cars, and they're going to divert stuff that was formerly the U.S. to Canada. I'm sorry, to China, a different sea country.
You know what? We have been saying that this whole time, that this is going to come down to economics. There's not going to be anything like any amount of force or any amount of bullying or any amount of threats. It's all going to eventually, when America does fold, flat out, it's all going to be because of it was no longer economically viable to do business in America or United States or with the United States. And that
seems
right
the most
there,
likely trajectory.
Yeah, well, that what you just pointed out right there is maybe the best evidence we have for that so far, that things really are changing on a global scale, because other countries are really sick of the censoring of the tariff nonsense going on, which benefits no one, really. Like, it's just an out and out mess. There is no, he's out there doing George W. Bush being like strategery, but there's nothing there. There's no benefit to any of this shit. Nobody's gaining anything from it. Like, commerce is fucked up all over the place, so we're at a point domestically and internationally where United States is done with the United States. We're all sick of it. We're like, let it fucking fall. We're done.
That's my point. I'm just trying to find those people.
Yeah, right? Like, everybody here is just like, we're fucking done with it. The Gen Zers are like, we're done with it. Like, and then everyone else is like, Canada, China's looking pretty good right now. So, and that's how it happens. The money will leave and things will go. And we don't know what happens at the point of collapse. And again, like, if you look at things like the fall of Rome, that could take hundreds of years for that to happen. But we're in pretty solid rocket ride to the end at this point.
I think we're at most. Like, I think that if both of us live full lives and don't get killed for whatever reason.
Yeah, right. That's a conditional thing. With the way things are right now, like, maybe we'll make it past 60.
I think if we live full lives, that we will get to die in the People's Republic of whatever the hell they call it. Like, I think that will happen. I think it's that kind of timeline. I used to think it was within 10 years, but now I'm more like, it's definitely within 50. Because just look at this. Like, look what the last 2 years has been such. China's even talking about how strategically they don't want us to collapse too fast, because then we'll all get it's like cornered animal, where they'll start lashing out and start chucking nukes at people for no reason. It's like,
but also they will have to absorb a lot of that they may not be ready for, like taking on everybody's economy in the world. Like, it seems like a good thing, like, oh, everybody wants to do business with us now, but it's like that stuff can come at you too fast on that level.
It's going to be a China strategic investment. We're like, America, we see you're having a hard time. You want to cut some deals. And then, just like with Canada, like, it's more of a slow, a gentle, hopefully, metamorphosis, in a transition into the thing
something else
that hopefully will not require a third world war. It will almost certainly require an American Civil War, which I don't advocate. I think you should, talk, organize, get things together, and do this in as peaceful a way as possible. I mean, eventually the people in power will be like, we're not giving it up, and then you got to take it. But beyond that, I don't think that a whole bunch of random, like, American workers need to go kill a bunch of other random American workers.
Right?
On behalf of, like,
that's not gonna. And if they do, that's probably because they have been susceptible to some form of propaganda that turned them against each other. Just like race issues, it's like we're not looking at the class issues. Like, like we need to be looking at these things that are, get away from these stupid issues that they're just trying to distract you with, and look about the fact that it literally is all of us versus the 1% and the people who are not representing us on the public or the international stage or the domestic stage. And as you're saying, like, China is not going to make our lives better as United States citizens. Like, they're not going to come in here and be like, here's your gift box monthly from China, and here, we're going to give you a remote job. And that's not really a viable, realistic thing that's going to happen when as the wheel turns here. And what you're saying is it will take in domestic, I guess there's no other word but protest, but a real one, like in real kinds of movement, in real kinds of revolution, which that word gets bandied around quite a bit. Nobody really knows what they mean by that. They just, a lot of people out here like, we got to do a revolution. Yeah, we do, but we don't have any leaders and nobody knows what that means. So we're kind of in an area where it's like everybody hates how everything is. Nobody wants this. But when you have lived generation after generation and you don't know anything but live under your government, like, you can't necessarily expect people to know what to do next. So yeah, we want to hasten that fall, basically, and we want to get to where something good is going to come of it. But like, we don't know. I think that people are hesitant to lead this charge because, one, they don't want to get their heads blown off, but also they don't want to, or they're block firebombed. But and you think that happened a long time ago. That happened in 1985. So it's just like, and I think Time Traveler in the chat points it out with it's going to be really hard to organize with our terrible internet, and like that, which is by design. Like, they are trying to keep people away from each other. They're trying to keep you from talking to people. They're trying to put these stupid blocks up and like, oh, you can't, immigrants are your problem, not us making the laws and upholding them and doing what the tech companies want us to do. Right.
Also, we aren't actually going to try to do anything about immigration. Like, it's both.
Yeah.
It has to be both. Hate all the immigrants, but also us, the people who got elected on how much we're going to get rid of immigrants. Our strategy is to stand around downtown and look at people. We're not going to go to Tyson Chicken. We're not going to go to the employers who just import slave labor. No. We're going to go downtown and shoot a lady in the face. And like, this is not...
You had nothing to do with it in the first place. And then that's going to be the firebrand of what everybody latches onto. But rightly so.
Something. No, but like the thing everyone wants to talk about is the like what happens after part, which is the least fruitful kind of conversation. The only things I know for sure are what steps must happen before anything else can change. You must abandon the party, both red and blue shapes of that party, and you must like we already know what we can't do. We know it's not, you can't vote your way out. We know you can't street protest your way out. Without a fundamental shift, without a fundamental change, that's like a revolution, a turning about of the mode of production, of the capitalist mode, the fucking meat and potatoes and carrots and onions of what actually makes the economy function and work, without a shift fundamentally in that, in relations, in economic relations, nothing can change. There is no incrementalism. There is no policy, like little nudge it this way policy. There is no social safety nets or whatever you could have. We could have Norway's shit tomorrow. It does not get us even
and
1 inch
Norway
closer.
Is a capitalist country. They just have socialist policies. So you can't tell me it can't be done. Like, if you're so hung up on
it
capitalism,
can't be done without all of Africa being in hell. Is
right?
my point with Norway. Like, Norway can't exist as Norway, Sweden, Europe, all that shit, without just an insane amount of human suffering going on somewhere else. China can actually. Like, what about China, Pepper? All these people have to. No, they don't. Whenever China does deals with people, it's that the quip I like a lot. It's like, whenever America comes to visit us, we get a lecture. Whenever China comes to visit us, we get a hospital. It's like they build. And it's not just because they love Africa so much. It's because they want Africa's stuff. And like we've been talking with Venezuela, how do you get the stuff out of Africa that's in the ground? Well, you have to build infrastructure. You need roads and trains and refineries and factories and blah, blah, blah. And we're not going to do any of that shit in Venezuela. We want Venezuela to stop. Our entire thing fundamentally rests on countries being artificially kept from developing. So Norway, Canada, the US, Sweden, blah, blah, can all have wonderful lives. Well, wonderful lives. Your life isn't even that fucking wonderful anymore, man. Like, All right, this is the last thing I had planned, and I just want to mention it because it's so galling to me. In talking about Europe and all these wonderful European countries, you know what they do in Europe? They'll arrest you for tweets. If you tweet the wrong thing or social media the wrong thing, and you're like, oh, you're exaggerating. There are people sitting
It's
in
happening in
London
Australia
jail.
as well.
There are people sitting in prison now. Dozens. I don't know if hundreds, but many. It's not a thing I made up. It's not a fucking conspiracy theory. They will arrest you for what you say in other countries, and they want desperately to do that here. And I'm suddenly a constitutionalist. I'm like, God damn, is that really the only thing keeping us from getting marched downtown from this guy wearing a yama? Okay. Florida police defend sending detectives to woman's house over Facebook post critical of mayor. And you read that, you're like, oh, there must be like a threat in there or something. It's like, no, I hope they have the post in this freaking article. But like, you can see the video of them showing up at her house. And where is it? Here it is. This is her horribly offensive, very dangerous post. The guy who consistently calls for the death of all Palestinians tried to shut down a theater for showing a movie that hurt his feelings and refuses to stand up for LGBTQ. Blah, blah, blah. It's not like I'm gonna go shoot the mayor. There's nothing in there.
It is so banal. Like it's just like the most.
It doesn't even mention
statement.
Israel. Israel's not even in this.
No.
And the Florida, the deep communist censorious state of Florida is gonna, this is what the Gestapo was supposed to be doing. Not Gestapo, fucking KGB, right? Like this is what happens. Oh, good thing we're not communist, or we'd have people coming to our house for the things we say and threatening to drag us off to jail. And oh, that's the only time that happened this week, right? No, in Texas, the deep blue state of Texas. We got this shit where it's just like, we're here because of the comments you made about the Jewish community.
Oh my God.
Why are you guys, that's easily a grand. That man right there is paying that's about $1,000 of government resources for him for his outfit, his car, his gas, his hours, the report he's going to file. Listen to that's what we're spending our shit on. That's where our money's going. That's what we need more training. We got to fund the police more.
But again, it's like this guy didn't just go out there at random. He was obviously ordered by someone above him to do so.
The mayor sent them to do. Like, the cops aren't independently going on and doing it. It's your government is sending people to go and fuck with you.
So it's like,
it's just pure intimidation. They can't do anything. Like.
And there isn't. You can't do anything about that here. At least right now with the way things are. I mean, I feel like they're all putting their heads together as fast as possible to figure out how to circumvent the Constitution. It's not like it's never happened before.
Sassy in the clip.
Right, yeah, they can come to your house, but there's nothing they can just basically to intimidate you because there's nothing that they can do. There's no laws. That woman didn't break any laws, so you got to think about.
And if you did, you'd just be arrested. They wouldn't come to your house and talk.
Right. Yeah. No. Exactly. Yeah. They don't have a warrant because there's nothing to arrest you for. At least But those days could be coming. Like Jared says, it's going on in Europe. It's going on in Australia.
And they're going to say it's misinformation, disinformation, dangerous terrorists. They just
making threats, somehow spin it that it's making threats. But then you, as the person, even though that's not true, like say that woman, we could play this whole situation out, say she gets arrested. Well, then she's going to have to bond out. So that's going to be, all that situation. Then she's going to have a court date, and then she's going to have to go before a judge with a lawyer and say, this is horse shit, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, okay, it's horse shit. And then, so it's like your whole life is upended because of this kind of thing. But that's
what most of these deportations are too. I hope people realize ICE picks people up and then that happens. They go to court and they go, no.
Yeah, right? Yeah, that's exactly the point as well. Like the ICE agents that are out there harassing people and grabbing people and pulling them out of their houses and following restaurant workers home and stuff like that, they are getting paid per body. Like they're getting paid bounties per person that they bring in. And then the court gets to decide that. They take them to the facility, put them in the cage, and then it's somebody else's responsibility thereafter. But those people, the actual agents, are getting paid shitloads of money to just go and grab people. So if you think,
it's not as many shitloads as you would expect, but your point does stand.
It's more than a lot of people are making.
They the advertisement makes it sound like I found out that 50,000 signing bonus. It's not a signing bonus. It's after you've worked here for 5 years, you get that.
Oh my God!
It's fed out over a long time. That's what I mean. They're like bullshitting the bonuses. Even it's not even that. Oh, here's 50
But the people who are doing this are not doing it for the money. So, you know, like
people are signing up for it.
They're doing it because they want to be doing it, and they have been given a license to go and harass minorities effectively. You know, and again, it's a lot of off-duty cops. You hear all these white supremacy groups that you were used to be showing up in the back of trucks and people running them off and throwing rocks at them and shit. Like those people are suspiciously quiet now because now they have gerbs and they get to do it legally. So you don't hear from those people like you did before because they have something to actually be doing. So that, you know, you have that issue there as well. These people are doing it for the love of the game. You know, they're doing it because they want to, not necessarily because they're, you know, getting rich off of it. But they are getting something out of it financially there. And there is a financial incentive there, so that they just grab people up. So if you think, oh, I'm a US citizen, my people have been here for 200 years, I'm white, you know, like I'm not in any danger. Well, keep thinking that, because they're gonna, you know, what did the woman in traffic do? Nothing. And then she took 3 bullets to the face, and nothing's coming of it, and nothing will come of it. So don't think that you're safe because you're white, or because you're a citizen, or, you know, even if you're white or you're not white, whatever, it doesn't matter. Just don't sit there and think that then it entitles you to some sort of monicum of safety that you have over other people. Like you can just go and do whatever because they're not looking at you. They're not looking for you. You don't have an accent. Why would they bother with you? Because they take you and then let somebody else sort it out.
Well, it's the continued single-minded focus on racialization of these issues. I would have in the past, a week ago, said that it's like hurting the potential, because then when you shoot some white lady in the face for absolutely no reason, well, where's the big rallying call, right? Like we've now circled back around to like a more truthful, honest version of all lives matter, where it's like, no, dude, they'll just shoot that white lady in the face too. They don't give a shit.
Right.
This system doesn't actually matter. But I was scared that meant there'd be less like, fuck, because we already have a kind of a slot ready for when they just gun down a black guy in the streets. We're like, wow,
Right.
here's this whole list of history, and we're very outraged. But hopefully we are equally outraged when it's anybody, like anybody getting gunned down in the streets for no reason. And it seems that Minneapolis has in no way cooled down. Also probably because, as we just read, yesterday they shot another guy. So like, I don't know, maybe it'll calm down again, then they'll shoot an additional person. Is that
Right.
the MO now?
And that's kind of what we were talking about at the beginning of the hour. We haven't in Indiana had as big of an issue with ICE as like they're having there now, because this is a cooperative state. The state has been like 100%, we will help and do anything. So they're not that worried about, you know, you won't see it in the news, right? But the Minnesotans, they're fighting now against, because and that's what everybody's seeing. So you're seeing like the government is getting a better version of events there, because they can rile up their own base that way. Be like, look at these liberals, you know, like that's and the far leftist activists and things like Antifa and all this kind of shit, because they can get out of it what they want to get out of it. And in a cooperative state, you're not going to get so much. But because we've reached a general consensus of breaking point, what you're getting now in Indiana is the anti-data center, and what you're getting in some of these other bluer states, you're getting anti-ICE, you know, situations. So people are picking and choosing and finding ways to get involved, because maybe they don't feel like they can go out and like physically fight ICE or something like that, or it's not really an option. But then
It's
they
been
go fight it.
demonstrated that it doesn't do anything. It isn't effective.
Right, yeah, but then they could put their energy into fighting a data center, and they feel like, oh, well, at least I can control or take some agency over this one thing, you know. Like, so
if you can keep that kind of shit from happening, that's a lot more than nothing. That's
yeah.
definitely. I mean, they might just move to the next town, but like you said, they appear to like chase them.
Yes,
it's like, oh, let's move here. Well, we're coming over there.
Right, that's exactly what happens. And if it's the kind of a never-ending thing. Like they're like, all right, we're withdrawing our bid for right now, but they're just going to figure it out and come back. Right. So like,
which if you have sustained organization, that's why it's working. That you have somebody who goes over there and does like who goes town to town and like.
So yeah, and that's kind of like the whole thing. Is like people are now figuring out in their own way, in their own personal way. The government isn't going to help you. There's no red blue. There's only the red blue alliance, basically, because there's no real party, the opposition party. There's nothing there to help or protect people.
Democrats aren't saying they want to abolish ICE. Democrats literally created ICE.
Yeah. Right. And that's
28. Sorry, Obama.
Yeah. Was it? No, ICE was 2003, wasn't it?
If it's
Under Bush.
03, then that's Bush, so this doesn't work. I know it was a
Yeah,
Democratic
but
administration.
under Bush W. Yeah. Well, anyways, it doesn't matter. It's been around a lot longer than you think. It's just now we're hearing from it in a much more robust kind of a way. So the point is people are finding ways to get involved against the tyranny and the unhelp. Like they're like, well, I can't make my wages go up, but I can go, to fight an ICE, thing and film them or whatever, or I can go fight a data center. People are finding ways to get involved in. If that's how this goes, then that's how this goes. It's not super clear, what the direction of the United States is. It's not totally obvious where we're going and what's going to happen. But as Jared pointed out earlier, that we are in a place where it's going to take mobilization. I think am I freezing?
No, you got me. Or sorry, I got you.
No? Okay. All right. Yeah. If you heard me, then that's fine. Yeah. But that's basically where we are. And we've had a remarkably tech issue free hour. But it looks like on my end, I'm kind of freezing up. So we should probably cut it off there before things go bad. So thank you for joining us again.
It's starting to happen. Sustained organization is the only way to do like anything.
Right?
You can have as many
get
Americans
invested
love
in
doing
something.
flash in the pans.
Right. Oh, yeah. And then forgetting about a very short memory and then going and saying, this Democrat's going to save us. Gavin Newsom's going to save us. So
ICE was established during the Bush administration, but the Democrats were like, yeah, let's do it. And they all voted for it.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And then are still pushing that narrative.
A team
all
effort,
this time
like
later.
We keep talking about. It's both
right.
Of them.
Yeah. If you need any more evidence that they're working together and it's complete collusion, then just look at how that they both respond to ICE. It's just two sides of the same argument. There is no differentiation there. So keep that in mind and then do something. Not everybody has the opportunity to go volunteer at a food bank or go march against ICE or whatever, but find something you can do, even if it's, posting on the internet, that counts too. Just find something, some way to get involved. That lends your voice or lends your time or whatever you can do.
Yeah, go chase around these data centers. That sounds like that's a good idea.
Right? Yeah, definitely. That's a good one. That's a really good one. and a lot of these places that should have they could erect these places very quickly. And a lot of these places that would have been able to be built just in a matter of a few weeks have at least been put off, to that point. So do that. Find something, get involved, go somewhere. And again, I think people get scared and think that they're not going to make you get up and give a soliloquy on why no data center in your neighborhood. Just go put your ass in the seat. It's literally all they're maybe you hold up a sign that says no data center and that's it. No AI. Whatever. But that's where we are right now. So just try to find what works for you because we don't really have any insight or intel magically, about what's going to happen or when it's going to happen or how it's going to happen. But this is how it happens. Whatever revolution is coming, this is the start of it. So any final thoughts, Mr. Jared?
No, that was it.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, we will in that case we will see you next week, same time, same place, with whatever horrible thing is going on after the next 7 days. So take care of each other, take care of yourselves, try to find somewhere to fit into all of this and try to stay sane. And we'll catch you next time, bros. Okay.